What if the strongest walls in the world could be destroyed not by swords or spears, but by deception? This is the true story of how Troy, a city that withstood 10 years of war, fell in a single night, all because of a wooden horse. Over 3,000 years ago, the Greek world was locked in a brutal war against the city of Troy. The cause: the Trojan prince Paris had stolen Helen, the wife of Menelaus, king of Sparta, the woman said to be the most beautiful in the world. Enraged, the Greeks united under King Agamemnon and sailed across the Aegean Sea with one of the largest armies ever assembled. Heroes like Achilles, Ajax, and Odysseus fought in the war. But Troy was no ordinary city. Protected by massive stone walls and guarded by fierce warriors, including the great Hector, the Trojans held their ground. Year after year the Greeks attacked. Year after year Troy survived. The war dragged on for 10 long years. Both sides suffered heavy losses. Achilles killed Hector, but Achilles himself was later slain. Still, the Greeks could not breach Troy's defenses. When all seemed hopeless, one man, Odysseus of Ithaca, devised a plan so daring that it would become legend. The Greeks would pretend to abandon the war, but before leaving they built a massive wooden horse, tall as a building, its belly hollow and large enough to hide dozens of men. The rest of the Greek army burned their camps and sailed away, but only out of sight, hiding behind a nearby island. The Trojans discovered the giant horse on the beach. Some believed it was a sacred offering to the gods, proof that the Greeks had finally surrendered. Others, like the priest Laocoon, warned them, "Beware of Greeks bearing gifts." But his warning was ignored. The Trojans, in triumph, dragged the horse inside their gates as a trophy of victory. That night, the city celebrated. For the first time in 10 years, they believed the war was over. At midnight, when Troy was deep in sleep, a hidden hatch opened in the belly of the horse. Out crept the Greek warriors led by Odysseus. Silently, they killed the guards and opened the city gates. From the darkness, the Greek fleet returned, pouring soldiers into Troy. Flames rose to the sky as the Greeks burned houses, temples, and palaces. The once proud city became an inferno. King Priam was slain in his own hall. The survivors were either killed or enslaved. In just a few hours, the city that had resisted 10 years of war was utterly destroyed. The fall of Troy became one of the greatest stories in human history. Immortalized in Homer's Iliad and Odyssey, it is remembered as a tale of courage, love, revenge, and above all, deception. Even today, thousands of years later, we still say, "Beware of Greeks bearing gifts." The Trojan horse remains a symbol of how sometimes brains can defeat brawn and how arrogance can lead to downfall. This was the story of Troy's fall, where walls and warriors failed, but a single trick changed history forever.